But talk about audio quality, talk about video quality, talk about software. Like,
Sure.
how do you get the podcast on the platforms? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so you're totally right. I'm very much audio first. We're
Yeah.
a podcast company. We're not a video company. We do video, but it starts with the audio. The very first thing is we engineer the audio, and then we make the audio edit.
Yeah.
And then that's where it starts. We send that to the client and say, how is this? And then once that is approved, then we take that engineered audio that we did from the initial engineering, we use that for the video, and then we use that audio as a go by to cut the video separately.
Yeah.
But and because I recommend cutting your audio and your video separately when it becomes practical.
Yeah.
Because in audio, I want to cut everything that is a distraction that doesn't add to the listening experience. Because when we're watching, like right now, we're looking at each other. I can see your body language. I can see the way that I might notice that you might start to look agitated at some point, and I can figure out what to do, whatever. When we're listening to somebody, we don't have any of those cues. So if somebody was watching us when we're talking to each other, we are going to have more leeway. But when we're cutting audio, we're going to cut it much tighter. We're going to cut way more filler words, but only if we can cut them without leaving a trace. We're going to trim out some silences unless they matter, unless they're like hanging silences of somebody thinking deeply about a question. Otherwise, we're going to tighten it up because we want that listening experience to be really good. If you make those same edits in a video, it's going to look ridiculous. It's going to be super jumpy and just a bad experience. So we're audio first. Absolutely. I think it should sound good. And honestly, there's no excuse for it not sounding good. Buy yourself an ATR 2100X. That might cost 40 or 50 bucks right now. And you're going to sound virtually indistinguishable from the way I sound right now, as long as you're in a quiet room.
What kind of mic is that you've got right there? That's a gigantic looking professional mic. What do you got there?
This is the Heil PR40. Back when I started podcasting, it was like a lot, like all of the podcasters in that moment, the ones I was listening to that were teaching about podcasting, were all using this. Nice. And so that's what I bought, and I love it. I mean, it's stuck with me from, I bought this in 2015, and I don't see any need to not have it ever. I love this mic.
Amazing. It sounds amazing. Yeah. And everybody that's listening to it can tell the difference, I'm sure, between Robert's mic and my mic. I've got a Shure, I think it's an M7.
Well, and if you want to, I mean, if you'll follow me along in real time, I can make your sound better right this second.
I absolutely want to do that. But
in
my point is,
my
point is that I have an expensive microphone.
Yeah, but if you bring it in a little tighter,
like that's what I was going to say.
Tighter to your face like that,
it sounds good, but it doesn't sound as good as yours. So here we go. I'm going to move it a little closer. Okay, there we go. I got it a little closer. I don't know what others say.
Oh my word! That
nice.
Is infinitely better.
That sounds better, and you sound literally like professionally produced. I mean, just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you brought that mic in, and now it's in the frame, but that's okay. But you've got it nice and tight, and that mic has what is called a cardioid pickup pattern, which means it's picking up what's right in front of it. Yeah. And so when you listen to me, when I get back here, I don't sound nearly as good. But when I get right up here, it's getting this, and it's not having to grab like my echoes off the wall the same way. And I turn it like this, you're not going to hear me as well. It's right here.
We literally did a live demonstration.
There you go. It also allows you to bring the gain on your microphone down a little bit, and so it doesn't pick up background noise as much because you're closer to it, and it's only you're getting your voice. So there you go. Worth the price of admission right
amazing.
There.
We literally, we're both lawyers by training, and you're not really supposed to do live demonstrations unless you've tested them like 10 times. So we just kind of jumped out on the diving board there a little bit, and it worked. But everybody, this is a perfect example of why having a professional like Robert is a good idea, because he knows his stuff backwards and forward. So number one, have a good mic. Number two, put it the right distance from your mouth.